Hello YouTubers and TikTokers alike, I am Kyle, and today we are going to be reacting to some EVPs. Now, the person that sent this to me wants them to remain anonymous, so that's what we're going to do. I'm not going to display their name or where this was done at. However, I've got them all on my phone right now, and we're going to listen to some really interesting EVPs. From what the person told me was that some of them are very faint, so we're just going to have to listen really hard and see if we can hear them, and we'll decide for ourselves what we think about it. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So, first one is called Whispering Under Talking. So let's go ahead and try that out.
They run from me and Steve when we do this. Every single time they run from me and Steve when we chase them through the whole building.
That's probably why they react to me, because I'm not a man.
Exactly. Well, maybe you should take my record.
Whoa. Let's try that again. Start it over. Nope, hold on.
They run from me and Steve when we do this. Every single time they run from me and Steve when we chase them through the whole building.
That's probably why they react to me, because I'm not a man.
Exactly. Well, maybe you should take my recorder.
There is definitely some whispering going on there. It's like it's almost like an undertone, almost like a frequency underneath of that. Let's do it again. Start it over.
They run from me and Steve when we do this. Every single time they run from me and Steve when we chase them through the whole building.
That's probably why they react to me, because I'm not a man.
Exactly. Well, maybe.
Yeah, that's inaudible. I can't even tell what it's even saying, but it's definitely there. So let's do one more time. Try it again.
They run from me and Steve when we do this. Every single time they run from me and Steve when we chase them through the whole building.
That's probably why they react to me, because I'm not a man.
Exactly. Well, maybe you should take.
Bro, that is, whew, makes my skin crawl. That's crazy. Huh. Whew. All right, so we don't have any words yet. We just have that inaudible kind of whispering underneath, which to me, I think that inaudible is almost worse because it's kind of like that fear of the unknown, like, you know, the shark in the water in Jaws, you know, Bruce the shark. You remember Bruce the shark? I remember Bruce the shark. All right, so the next one says leave. So we'll see what this one sounds like.
Oh God, these people.
I want you to let them know who's boss.
Wow, okay, loud one at the end. That very quickly turned into an ASMR session there at the end. Let's see, hold on, let's start that over.
Oh God, these people.
Leave. Okay, if there's ever a time I'm in a haunted place and I hear an inaudible voice or an EVP of that location I'm in currently, and if something tells me to leave or get out, I am gone. I will just leave.
Damn it, Bobby!
This one's called Loud Hey.
I like propane. There's that.
It said hey exactly in the same time I said hey because I was reading the title. This one's called Loud Hey. We'll try that again.
Damn it, Bobby! I like propane. There's that.
Ooh, ooh. Goosebumps. Oh my God. That's crazy. Now, for anybody that thinks that this would be faked, this is from a very reliable source. I know for a fact they take ghost hunting seriously. And all of their investigations prior, I know for a fact have checked out that they've done. So I highly doubt that this is somebody whispering into the mic. It has, like what I talked about in the last one, it has that natural kind of feel to it. And somebody actually commented and said that's essentially what an EVP is. That's how you can separate the Bob the Demon ones from, you know, from normal EVPs, because obviously Bob the Demon EVPs are for fun. And I am altering, you know, a voice to make it sound like it's an EVP, but you can never really get it right. And that's kind of how you can tell if one is fake or not. So let's listen to that one more time.
Damn it, Bobby! I like propane. There's that. And that.
That is very blatantly an EVP saying, hey. So that's insane. All right, let's go ahead and listen to a few more. Let's see if we can get some. So let's do yes. Yes, duh. I can't read the rest of it. So it sounds like they're using something. I highly doubt that's a natural effect. I don't, comment below if you know what that is, but listen to that again. This is, actually this says yes, duh, but it's actually just got a bunch of numbers. So we'll just call this one yes.
Do you want me to stop?
That is a direct response right there.
Do you want me to stop?
That's really cool too. Man, 37 EVPs. That is insane. It's honestly like if I didn't have the bad experiences that I've had before with like going to locations and having stuff being stuck to me. I mean, I have precautions now that I take before. I don't just go willy-nilly into places or welcome anything into our home. To give you guys some perspective, we actually had somebody that gave us a coffee table. And it's the only thing that's ever really happened physically in this house. Somebody gave it to us because they thought, you know, my wife would like it, and you know, she did. But after a while of us having it in the evening, something flew off of the wall and it face planted on the ground. Now that could have been coincidental, but the thing is that it's like it was enough for me to be like, no, get out. I don't want to hear get it out, and she agreed because if you've listened to my wife's story, The Window, you know the danger of taking in objects into your house if you don't know the true origin of where they're from. So we had no idea where this table came from, so it was actually from Goodwill, the person told me. By the way, I just want to say that Willow is being such a good girl right now. She is not moving. She is relaxing, not disrupting the whole video. Thank you, honey. This one's called Mike Brushed, so let's see what that one sounds like. So that was a sound effect of, apparently, it sounds like people were decent away from it. And my friend that was listening to it, I think he noticed a spike on the wavelength because nobody was near it, it sounds like. Except for him, but he noticed it.
Note that the microphone was laying on the table.
Mike was laying on the table and he got a brush sound. Whew. Dude, so from what has been explained to me about this was that this was done in a house that had a lot of violence in it, and that's about as specific as I'm going to get. But from the EVPs that I could hear stuff in, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like it is convincing. It's like because, you know, it does have that natural-esque kind of sound to it, so it does sound like they could be real EVPs. But in the same hand, EVPs aren't exactly always in your face. They're not always going to be directly like, you know, hey, I am talking. It's more like that, you know, ambience kind of thing, and then you pick it out through those things. Some people say that that's the proof that it's fake. However, I think that especially with the EVPs that I've heard, the experiences I've had, entities and spirits, demons, all that stuff will use different elements in the environment to basically communicate. So whether or not that is slamming things, whether or not that is audibly saying things that we don't hear until later, or even in that moment. I've had friends that have ghost hunted that have heard things, like actually heard like their name called. They have heard, the phrase "get out," or they've heard, "help us," or different things like that. So EVPs aren't exactly always going to be, razor straight, like, in your face, but in the same hand, this is very interesting, and I want to thank my friend for allowing me to use this audio. If someday he wants me to publicly say, who he is and everything, I will, but as of right now, I'm just going to keep it under wraps. Now, this is where you guys come in. I want to be able to do more Fear Fridays and get some really extreme stuff if we can find it and have me react to it. So whether or not that is clips that you own as far as video or audio, but also if you find clips on the internet that you want to send to me, I'll react to it. And we can go from there and see, how this progresses. And Fear Friday can either stick around if you guys enjoy it, or I can move on to do something else on Fridays. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys watching if you've watched it this far, but it brings this week of Fear Friday to a conclusion. And I want to thank all of you for watching my content. And I also want to thank my patrons, snarkbottom, loof, and Kevin Hanna. They are a part of the tier that they get a verbal shout out in my videos. So thank you guys so much, as well as my other patron will be listed below along with the two of them in the description. And next week, EVP session number 5 with Bob the Demon is going to be released. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell, that way you don't miss it. Adios, guys.